Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data, and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Woo woo. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. Karen Reed has been acquitted of the murder of her boyfriend. She was convicted of driving under the influence. Amazing. We got this news after we recorded the show, but get ready for a great episode. And we do talk about Karen Reed and her future. So get ready for a juicy one. Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I know I've talked a lot about my 10-year anniversary that's coming up next week. And my very first guest was who is joining me today. Yes, pull over. You probably need to change your underwear. It's Chris Franjola,
Yes.
my dear friend,
Thank
hilarious comedian, always delight. Everybody's good guy.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll take all that.
I think you're like a good guy. Dad.
Right, Dad.
Husband.
6-year-old, almost 6, July 16th will be 6.
Podcaster. Fashionista.
A lot of people, you know, my wife's cousin recently, we were at Father's Day at my wife's house. My wife's cousin texted her later in the day. She said, "Does Chris have a stylist? Because he always looks so nice." So, you know.
That was your gift.
That's-
That was
yeah.
your Father's Day gift.
That's
What more
all
do
I
you
needed.
want? That's
That's
all
all I
you've
needed.
ever
You
wanted.
should see this guy who wrote that. I mean, but anyway, I'll take it. You know.
Oh my gosh, Chris. Well, we were
Can I just tell you a quick story? I didn't realize I was the first guest, right? Way back in those old days.
You were my very first guest.
Yes.
Yes.
And now, just an interesting story of
Yes.
being the first guest. You were in a building, like somewhere in like
Podcast One,
Beverly Hills or whatever. Okay. I had just began at the time dating my wife. Just began, kind of. Yeah. And I was walking into your show, and I happened to see Netflix. One of the doors had the Netflix logo on it. And
It's just a little small company at the time.
It was. It was like a little closet in the same building you were in. So I texted my wife and said, "I think I'm in your building." She said, "You are." Anyway, like she
Did
said,
she think that was creepy?
She said,
what if that had turned her off?
Oh, well, it
Where
didn't.
would you be
it
today?
didn't. We're still going. Probably doing great. Anyway, we're still going. And so I said, "Well, I'll say hi on the way out." And I said hi on the way out. And now look, Netflix is Netflix, and you're you.
And you got a wife to change your life.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, we were just saying that you said somebody sent you the 25-year.
No, a bunch
what
of
was
they sent me a bunch of People magazines, 25 People magazines from 1977, 77 and 78. I was going to bring them because it's shock. First of all, the ads alone are wild.
Okay, the next time you do the show in a couple weeks,
yeah.
I said you're going to come to my new house.
Okay.
We'll go to a cute lunch after.
Absolutely.
Bring that, because that would be a really fun, like, summer thing to look at. I, too, have a bunch. I saved some of the magazines, but I was trying to condense. From when I did, like, Fashion Police and stuff, in the back of the magazine, I'd save the magazines. And in my move, I finally was like, I can't keep all of these. But, I mean, the amount of times that, like, J-Lo and Jennifer Aniston, those people, that was like, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see. But with People Magazine, I remember we got a subscription to People Magazine. And I just, every Saturday, it would come. And I just loved it. And then all of a sudden, my dad's like, I can send that to you when you're in college at SC. So it would come every Saturday. And then my first job out of college, I would take that magazine and like read it at the Robinson's May at the horrible mall in North Hollywood.
Robinson's May was like a department
and I remember
store.
I said, I just wish there was a job that would require me to just read this magazine.
You did
That's
it.
all we want, and I did it.
I know.
And
Isn't
I
that
did
wild? That's what did Oprah call that? You
manifestation, secreting, all of
yeah.
it. There's a lot of times that I would do that, but I didn't know that that's what it was called. But now I look back and I'm like, oh my God. Listen, we've all talked about Ozempic, Wegovy, GLP-1s, and then you're like, I wonder if I could get it. Does my insurance cover it? That is what is so great about Ro. Ro's insurance checker lets you know if you're covered for GLP-1s. That's free. Ro can also help you understand if GLP-1s like Ozempic and Wegovy are right for you and your goals. Go to ro.co/juicy scoop for your free insurance check. That's ro.co/juicy scoop to see if your insurance covers GLP-1s for free. Go to ro.co/safety for black box warning and full safety information about GLP-1s medication. This episode of Juicy Scoop is brought to you by Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Listen, I hear you. You're trying to book a fun family vacation. Every need is different, and I've been there for all of it. Whether you have toddlers, whether you have an elderly parent, that is where Booking.com comes, because they will find the most ideal summer vacation situation for you and your family at this time in life. If our family can find the perfect stay on Booking.com, I know anyone can. Find exactly what you're booking for on Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. Like one time Drake was like, asking me about my childhood or whatever. And I said, I used to love talk radio even back then. And I used to say, oh, I'd love to have a talk radio show, but I bet there'll be technology where I can do it from my home by the time I'm an adult. I literally would say that in my head.
Really?
And then I'd say, one day I'm going to write a book, but it'll be like I'm married and I have like an office at my house and my child will come interrupt me. And then when I'd write the book on the weekends, like Brandon would come in. I had like this peach iced tea and he'd come in and he'd like drink the iced tea and be like, when we're going to go in the pool. Yeah. I'd be like in 1 hour at 4:00 on a Saturday. I was like, okay, shut it down. Now we go in the pool. Like, so I don't know. Do it. Do it. You may not know that you're doing it.
Well,
just
anyway, I wanted to bring the People magazines because I figured we should just do like a full-on Juicy Scoop from 1977 and just go right through the topic.
The
whole magazine.
Because we're talking about this, I'm going to jump to a crazy thing in today's show.
Oh, okay.
That is this 1970s Tab commercial popped up. This guy is named Greg N. Foster from, I think, Instagram or TikTok. And he's like, this is crazy. And it's a commercial from the 1970s for Tab, which was the diet soda before Diet Coke got into like Diet Coke.
I remember Tab very well.
Yeah. And so it is a commercial with a guy at his office in the 1970s. And it's like, when your man is working, remember he'd like a figure to come home to, meaning your figure can stay that fit with Tab. Remember, if you don't look good, he won't want to come home.
Yeah. Well, that's every ad in this People magazine I'm talking about. Every ad is like, it's basically like, ladies, you'll do it. You could do it too. Like every ad is, these cigarettes are for you, ladies.
Yes.
Forget this car's for you. A lot of cigarette ads, a lot of liquor ads, but everything is, this is for you, ladies. Enough is enough of the men's cigarettes. This one's for you.
That's amazing.
It's wild.
Yeah, we need to dissect that, do a class on it, do our dissertation. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
But first, let's get into some fun other Juicy Scoop. Really quickly, they are still deliberating on Karen Reed. We have been casting the movie. We are excited about it. I'm convinced she will not be convicted of anything in the murder world. However, breaking news is saying Karen Reed could be convicted of just drunk driving as jurors remain deadlocked on that one final charge. I think it's fair to say that is true. So that would be at least some satisfaction to the people that felt that she misbehaved. But anyway, I
don't know if you've discussed this, but if she's completely innocent and she gets out, is she like a Dancing with the Stars person, or is it too grim a crime to put her on Dancing with the Stars? Because I feel like
100% Dancing with the Stars, and I hadn't even thought of that, Chris.
Yeah.
I have been talking to my insiders about, it looks to be that Bravo is letting some franchises maybe not come back, like a New Jersey, or taking big breaks. They're doing a new one in Rhode Island, which is a really ritzy place.
Oh.
And so there's rumors I heard that they were thinking about Boston. And if they do Boston...
She would be one?
She'd have to be one. It
is
could
she
be the
that
juiciest
wealthy?
thing. It doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't really... Oh, okay.
I mean, sometimes they want to sometimes search for wealthy people. They just want interesting people. They want people that are famous. Rachel Zoe is joining Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh, really?
And they say the reason why is because she got divorced from her guy.
Yeah.
And some of her ventures allegedly are not doing as well. And it's sort of like, this might be good for my business.
Right.
Or maybe it's the paycheck. But so they want famous people. They want reasons for people to tune in.
Yeah.
But I definitely think she will have a media career. Of course, there's always a podcast. But I think first it'll be, Traders. Great on Traders. Dancing with the Stars, got a cute figure.
Yeah.
Remember that one officer said she had a flat ass? As someone who has a flat ass, I want to see her in a cute little, I know how to camouflage that ass with a cute little sparkly skirt.
I think she'd be good on Dancing with the Stars.
Why not?
Why exactly? At this point, they're in season 20. They're getting thin on talent pool, so you got to just take.
And the women and the people that are behind her, they would be tuning in and they would be voting.
Yeah.
Chris, I had not thought of that. That has got to happen. That's got to happen.
Next up is attempted murder.
I just hope they don't do some weird thing where the thing opens up and it's like, I've been feeling calling in the air of night.
Yeah.
Like kind of a weird.
And then her dance partner rises up out of the snow or something. That's a little grim.
They can't do anything like that.
Okay.
They just have to you know what? Oh, this is going to be the dance. Okay. It's going to start with a setting like a courtroom.
Oh.
And then she's sitting there and she's like, and the music starts and then it's her conservative suit outfit rips off.
To the reveal.
And then it's like, freedom! Yeah. And then she dances to that.
Okay, I like that. Let's do it.
Okay. Let's talk about this. So you did not know about this.
I did not.
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Tyler Perry. For the few of you that might be like, remind me who that is. Tyler Perry, because I was explaining it to Drake. I was like, Tyler Perry is really a genius in how he made his own studio in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But from what I recall from his original interviews with Oprah is, he really is a self-made man. He was a writer and he's writing these little plays that were very specific to Black audiences that just wanted light, funny comedy with characters that they could relate to. From there is when then he did the character of Mama.
Medea.
Yeah. And he would dress as maybe a mid-60-year-old grandma with a bad wig who'd had run-ins with the police and I don't call the po-po and all this other stuff. And they were silly and dumb. Wasn't my comedy, but a lot of people loved it. And then he built his own studio in Atlanta where he owned everything and was making so much money. And I remember talking to Heather Locklear because she had a role in one of his then he got into more soap opera kind of drama things.
Yeah.
And she was part of one of those shows. And I'm like, oh, how's that going? And she's like, oh my God, I did not like the way I looked at all. But I didn't realize that they're filming an entire season in 4 days. That's how he also made the money, just real quick. And so anyway, this guy, his name is Derek Dixon. Very good looking. He's white. He's got dark hair. Has filed a $260 million sexual assault lawsuit against Tyler Perry. And Tyler's attorneys say these are fabricated claims. Harassment will fail. Well, I think it's pretty compelling. Let me tell you the story.
Okay.
According to the lawsuit, this guy, Derek, was a cater waiter at one of his parties on his property.
Okay, sure.
And he spotted him and he was like, are you an actor? Well, of course, yeah, I'm an actor. I'm an aspiring model, whatever. I think I have a part for you. He gives him just a couple little lines here and there. And that's when the flirting on the texts that I'll read start to happen. But then he actually puts him in the show, The Oval, which was about the Oval Office.
Okay.
And he had a part in that. He was on 65 episodes. So he clearly had a real part. Through that time of kind of placating these romance gestures that he was doing, there was always the threat, according to the lawsuit, that Tyler would say, I'll kill your character. Either play along or your character dies.
Yeah.
And, this is his only acting role, is what he's known for. Also, in the conversation, in the time that he was doing this, he had come up with a TV show himself, the actor. And Tyler says, I'll buy the pilot. I'll buy your script. I will make the pilot. I will get it sold. Well, of course, that never happened. It was just his way to like dangle a carrot and keep him quiet from ever saying that these advances and things happen.
So what are the advances? Like
the advances are a couple physical advances besides the text I'm going to read. The advances are, one time they were hanging out at his house. He drank too much. He's like sleeping in the guest room. He was sleeping in the guest room, woke up to Tyler in his bed, rubbing his ass or whatever, trying to make a move. And he was able to rebuff him and get him to leave.
Yeah.
Another time he did like take him and like go to choke him and say, you know, I know you like it rough or something. And again, he was able to like say no or whatever, there was a few moments where he grabbed him and this and that. And also there was a time where the actor went to, you know, do a formal complaint with like the production company or whatever about what was going on, and nothing was done about that.
Yeah.
They just were like, shut up. It's Tyler Perry. So
he wasn't dressed as Medea during any of this. Because that might be different if she's massaging the guy's ass and it's Medea. You're like, all right, I'll let this happen.
So let me read the text.
Okay, go ahead.
And these are kind of like, I don't know what order these are, but these were the ones that Hollywood Unlocked posted. So let me just read them. So Tyler says, what's it going to take to you to have guiltless sex? Have you all found that in therapy? Yes, it's the exact same kind of car, Geo Metro. Okay, that was like, whatever, they're talking about something else.
Oh.
And then the actor says, giving up my religious guilt, becoming a Buddhist. That's so cool, where you came from. Then Tyler says, unfortunately, Derek, I have friends who are in their 50s and 60s who are still dealing with that, and it's sad. You can have freedom from religious guilt and still believe in Christ. I think this is showing the beginning of the grooming, of just kind of mentioning, like, are you religious?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if this guy is gay, straight, bisexual, or if he just was never interested in Tyler, what the case is, okay? But he's just, you can tell in the text, I think, the actor, Derek, is just trying to like placate.
Right.
Yeah, and I've been in those situations where you're just like, oh, crazy, LOL. But for whatever reason, if this guy is your boss, if he holds your entire career and your show that he keeps saying, no, I have a meeting with Netflix next week, you know, you're going to just be like, fine. Okay. Derek says, I can call you later or tomorrow sometime. Then Tyler says, you have already a fresh voice and a take on things. I don't know where this is going, but I laughed the entire time. I could see the world and the characters, meaning his pilot. My exclusivity ends in 30 days. I want to take Losing It, which is the guy's pilot, out to Amazon or Netflix after that and gauge their interest. But I also want to try and get you with the right people to help make these shows work. They are not for my audience, but we need to find a home for this stuff. I don't want to miss out on another Schitt's Creek. You know that Eugene brought that to me, but I didn't get it. Kind of juicy.
Yeah.
That Schitt's Creek was pitched to Tyler and he turned it down. Okay.
Also, now poor Eugene Levy's going to have to be brought up in this. You know, they're going to have to ask him, like, is this true? Because he's misspelled losing, and Tyler Perry doesn't strike me as the type of guy who'd misspell losing. I'm just going to say, these are...
Well, I mean...
Yeah, all right.
I think these are... you know what? That's a good defense. These were fabricated in this day and age. If you can make, Joe Rogan endorse your product on a podcast clip that's not clearly him. You think it's him. Who knows? Okay. Ammon, I just don't know. I just don't believe that someone goes through all this effort to be like, you know how I think I can get money when there wasn't truth to it, when there wasn't evidence, in my opinion. Okay. I'm going to get here tomorrow. Ammon's getting here tomorrow, so he's got my full attention. Okay, I'll be trapped for the day. After that, okay, then he sends a photo of, Tyler sends a photo of himself near a jet ski and sends it to him. And Derek says, nice picture. Yeah, the water does look good. Calm. You can see Derek is never saying anything sexual.
Right.
And then he goes, nice picture, a bunch of question marks. Great, amazing, awesome picture, like capped letters, like haha. And then he goes, you don't see the stud in that nice picture? Rude. Now, I know my husband has text messages with guys from golf.
Mm-hmm.
This is not that.
Right.
This is,
right. You don't see
I
that.
don't know if you have ever sent a photo of you like shirtless to
Right.
a male friend.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? You're not going to talk about the
that
bulge in
stud
my
and then-
pants? Yeah. Like, okay. Listen, we've all talked about Ozempic, Wegovy, GLP-1s. You are maybe curious about it. Maybe your friends are on it and it's like, wow, you look amazing. How are you doing this? And they tell you. And then you're like, I wonder if I can get it. Does my insurance cover it? Where do I start? That is what is so great about Roe. This is how it works. Roe's insurance checker lets you know if you're covered for GLP-1s. That's free. Roe can also help you understand if GLP-1s like Ozempic and Wegovy are right for you and your goals. But that's just the beginning. If you are eligible for GLP-1s and want to see if you're covered, all you have to do is submit your insurance card and Roe will take care of the rest. Go to ro.co/juicyscoop for your free insurance check. That's ro.co/juicyscoop to see if your insurance covers GLP-1s for free. Go to ro.co/safety for black box warning and full safety information about GLP-1s medication. You may have a great skincare routine. Maybe you've been doing it for years, but if you're like me, for the first few decades of your life, you may have completely neglected your neck. The skin on the neck is thinner and needs proper skincare. And that's why I want to tell you about Go Pure. It is so great. In a consumer study, 100% of the users said that their skin looked more supple and 97% noticed a firmer appearance. It's dermatologist recommended, it's cruelty-free, it's paraben-free, and sulfate-free. And with over 1 million jars sold, this beauty secret is no longer a secret. It's really like nothing else I've ever experienced. I mean, right away, my skin felt completely different. Tighten, lift, and restore elasticity in your neck because your skincare routine shouldn't stop at your jawline. For a limited time, our Juicy Scoopers will get 25% off Go Pure with code JuicyScoop at checkout. Just head to gopurebeauty.com. Use code JuicyScoop and you're all set. And after you buy, do us a favor. When they ask you where you heard about Go Pure, tell them it was from our show, Juicy Scoop. Then Tyler writes, treat myself, right? What are you doing, Derek? Like writing it all out. And he goes, just talking to my sister. Just please. Just like,
Yeah.
dude, leave me alone, okay? Like, I roll, he writes, Tyler writes, I roll, fine, good night. I'll go through the 600 people in my phone book and be annoyed that I don't want to talk to any of them, but he wants to talk to you, right? And he goes, trying to get off so I can go to sleep, not talk to you, go to sleep. And then Tyler says, I understand. And then Derek says, LOL, apparently you're not the only one that's been drinking tonight. And then Tyler goes, I just started. And he goes, haha, they didn't. Like, just trying to, I think, get off. Then, but also he's handpicking things too for his
Right.
lawsuit. So let's just see. So then Tyler writes, I would hope that you would let someone hold you and make love to you. You are missing the best years of your life, my friend. Trust me. I hope you get past that block in your mind soon. Do you think he's saying that he should go out and meet a nice girl, on
yeah.
Bumble?
Maybe.
Don't you say that to your
Yeah,
single friends?
Right.
I don't know.
Get past that block and enjoy
Yeah.
sexual.
Well, it's not this person, but yes, I want that too. I'm working on it. Therapy is helping. And then he goes, and then the guy, Derek says, I know I need to smell the roses more. And then Tyler says, you are the rose.
Hmm.
Could be seen as, hey, I was just trying to build up my actor's self-esteem. Okay. But you are so blocked. And by blocked, I mean your butthole. No, I added that part. But you are so blocked that you refuse to be smelt or opened. Poppers.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, you take a
Yeah.
popper and it opens your butthole like
I've
a
heard
little
about it.
flower.
Yeah.
That is sweet. And I'm working on it. Therapy. I'm really scared that I'm going to waste my life worrying. Been there, stopped somewhere in my late 30s to early 40s. That's when I think he started to just be like, I'm getting some D.
Yeah.
I know he had a child with somebody, like some woman.
Tyler Perry did?
Yes.
Yeah.
And was like, I'm a dad. Like no one knew who the woman was. No
Right.
one knew where. It was a kind of Michael Jackson situation. he was just like, we're not going to get married. I mean, it was very clear. It's like, I just want to keep my personal life. I mean, it's no secret.
I've always heard that.
Yes,
yeah.
It's no secret. But I don't care if he's gay. None of us do.
Am I crazy?
It's not
I don't
Scoop
think
that he's gay.
I don't think this is that bad. These texts back and forth.
Well, it's bad because if this was just your neighbor or whatever,
Yeah.
you can move. You can be like, don't come on my property.
Right.
But this is your boss. The only real jobs you've had have come from Tyler Perry in this business. And besides that, he's not he's not the guy that got you the modeling gigs wearing the kimonos around his pool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's Tyler
Bob
fucking
Wellborn was his name.
This is Tyler fucking Perry, best friends with Oprah.
Yeah.
Huge, powerful. If he was like, don't ever call me again, and he's going out for another part, just like Hugh Hefner knew when his bunny girlfriend was going out for a part and he didn't want her time being spent away from the thing, he'd pick up the call and be like, don't give her the part.
Right.
That is what people don't realize, especially in Hollywood, how when you speak up against somebody, it can keep you from ever doing the job that you love.
Yeah.
So you're like, how can I just placate this guy for as long as possible? Okay. So this is the last one.
Oh, here it goes. Now it's getting good.
He says, Derek goes, how do they make money then? Subscriptions? This could be a podcast conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like, I'm going to
Patreon.
I'm going to get the podcast world. Tyler says, they make money from the advertising, lots of money. I do think this could be a podcast conversation. Yeah. I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being horny. Testosterone. So Tyler says now he's on testosterone. And he goes, oh yeah, from the doctor? But it's making you feel better, right? I mean, that is what Derek is saying. Not, hey, let me come over and make you less horny. He's saying like, oh, I heard a lot of men are taking testosterone for health purposes. Like he is really trying to. And Tyler says, I feel good, but I don't like being horny. I feel sorry for the first person that flirts with me. And then Derek goes, LOL. Ugh. And there we go. And then 50 Cent did this post of just Cat Williams saying, Tyler, that case bullshit. Don't worry about that. Worry about this. And it's Cat Williams smiling because we all know when Cat Williams did that infamous episode
of Shay Shay, Club Shay Shay,
about a year ago. I mean, talk about being a psychic. I mean, everything has come true. Everything that he has said.
Did he say something about Tyler Perry on that?
He just talked in general about powerful black men in entertainment and the people that they hit on and that went with it and why they became bigger stars than Cat, and that Cat was offered $50K for his virginity of his, butthole and said no, and all this kind of stuff. And I thought it was a little bit like boo-hoo, a little in the beginning. I was like, you're just jealous that other people got the roles. But no, I believe Cat Williams 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's.
What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, see, I would have to.
Yeah.
In looking at those texts, it doesn't seem. I need some sort of context. Were these guys actual friends that spoke in real life? So
yes,
these could. I know. So if they talked all day, that doesn't seem like that bad a conversation to be texting later that day. You know what I mean? I think
that's a good.
If they are friends, legitimate friends in life, because I don't think either one of them say anything completely incriminating in those texts.
Other, like what he's saying, the physical assault stuff that he's saying that I described, it's just his word against Tyler's.
Right.
So by sharing these other texts, you can see there's a grooming, you can see there's a flirting there, you can see there's something, and you can see that Derek is rebuffing the advances.
Right.
So, I mean, where they come up with $260 million, I don't know. But obviously they probably went to him and was like, asked for a big amount, maybe not this much, for a settlement, and they were like, F off.
Yeah.
So then, okay, now it's going to be out. If they would have settled, he would have signed an NDA and we would have never known that this existed. But for whatever reason, Tyler, or maybe because Tyler feels that none of this stuff is true, that he's like, no. And so that's why this is a big lawsuit, and we'll see what happens.
I think the takeaway from all of this is 50 Cent's got to be super clean, right? Because he just fucks with everybody. And so there must be nothing on him, because if there was, they would have found it by now. The way he goes after Diddy and this guy, everybody.
I mean, when I hung out with 50 Cent,
me too.
he was super clean.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all of his crimes were
Sat
done
and
before
drank-
he turned 9 years old.
Yeah, sat and drank Coca-Cola and
He never drank. He never smoked.
no,
He would sleep on the plane.
very like soft-spoken and
He very respectful.
yeah.
He one of the days we went to Chelsea's house and he got on the floor and played Connect 4 with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
He brought me in his car and it was a bulletproof car and we just listened to his latest song.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was it.
Uh-huh.
And so I think there really is nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I
that's
really do
good.
think you're
Good.
right. That's a really good point.
Yeah. It's good to hear it.
But he is a good time to follow, let me tell you.
He is.
And now he's getting to other things. He has produced the latest documentary on the murders near your neighborhood. What's it called? Gigolo Beach? How do you pronounce it?
Gilco. Oh, out on Long Island.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a new doc that is that he produced that I guess does interview the suspected serial killer's family.
Yeah, the wife and the kids.
So I mean, he's getting into different things.
And his daughter, the daughter of the guy who's I think his name's Rex Shurman or whatever.
Yeah.
The daughter's like, yeah, it was him.
Yeah.
In that documentary.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So amazing. Also, this was from the Neighborhood Talk on Instagram. Male entertainer Flash says that he saw Eddie Murphy and Johnny Gill tongue kissing at a Hollywood party. They were going at it, swallowing tongues. This is also something that I'd heard a long time ago. I remember someone I know was like going out with Johnny Gill, and he never like made a move. And she was like telling me, I think he's gay, and I mean this is just allegedly. And there was always this. Remember when Eddie Murphy just went out to just get a newspaper and wanted to help out that transgender model slash
hitchhiking.
He just saw a woman in distress needing a ride somewhere on Hollywood Boulevard at 4 a.m. And he was like, "Are you lost? Can I give you a ride?"
Yeah.
And, he was just a good Samaritan.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I was working with the Waynes, they know them from young. And I just said, do you think Eddie is gay, or do you think he's just into some freaky shit? And he's like, I just think he's into some freaky shit. Like, I think people can be bisexual, whatever, like P. Diddy, but still like women and like different kinds of things.
Right.
But, now it's like, now nobody cares what you are. But if you're, holding power over other people, then that is 100% wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, okay. Diddy is not, this is funny. Diddy's trials dismissed juror, because they got rid of one juror, was not starstruck by Diddy, more into Spanish music. I just thought that, TMZ, I just thought that was the funniest thing. Also, he is not going to testify, which is no shock.
Oh, that's always fun when they testify.
I always like when they like insist on it and then just like bury themselves.
Yeah.
My sister, Shannon, being a criminal defense attorney, I'm like, why is that you never really want your client to testify? Because I think if someone's really fighting for their life, I, as a juror, would need to see them cry about the fact that they didn't kill their wife or whatever.
But too many chances to mess up, right?
Right. But then there's too many things.
Cross-examination.
Where then that can really screw you. So it is better to not even give them that moment to contemplate.
Yeah.
This popped up. I wasn't even going to bring it up to you, but then when I opened my phone before you came, Daily Mail had picked it up. And
the old
voicemail of Alec Baldwin to his oldest daughter, Ireland, while he was going through a very tumultuous divorce with the mom,
Kim Basinger,
has emerged. And I guess it's because she snubbed him on Father's Day, Ireland.
This past
Father's Day, just this past Father's Day.
Oh, again,
I guess people noted. I don't know if she wrote something mean or just didn't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
I want to say we took a really cute photo on Father's Day.
You did.
And Peter took it and sent it to his group text with his mom. And it was Brandon was still in Oregon. But Drake and Mackenzie were there. And then I got it from the group text and I was going to post it, but Drake's eyes were shut. And I know we took like 10.
Right.
And I asked Peter, can you send me one without Drake's eyes shut? And he didn't. And so I was waiting for the TMZ article to write about me. Like, what's up with Heather? Why didn't she acknowledge how wonderful?
You didn't call Peter a little pig, did you?
No.
Yeah, because that's what he says in this, right? That's what's the word.
So I listened to the whole audio message again. Uncut.
So did I, just like a couple days ago.
It is absolutely horrific.
I know. Like, even before you get to Little Pig, it's pretty bad.
He is so threatening. And I can see why Kim gave it to her attorney, used it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine if this is who I was trying to co-parent with. And I have a little 11-year-old daughter who or 12, because he goes, you're 12 or 11 or whatever. He doesn't even know what age she is. And he's like, it was a lot of effort for me to make this call. And then the little girl has a phone. And I guess she just didn't answer it. Maybe she was in the bathroom. Maybe she forgot to turn it on. But, he had to leave his, party or whatever to walk outside to call her. And he was annoyed that he had to do that because that was probably the court-ordered time to call her. So he's berating her about, I'm done. Like, you've screwed me out. He's talking to her like a business partner that just took $10 million from him. And he's like, I'm going to fucking bury you.
Yeah.
And she's his daughter. And he's like, and when I see you, get ready. Get ready for a tongue lashing like you've never heard. I mean, first of all, most kids in my day, or me, love their dad, but scared. Like, you just are a little scared of your dad. Your parents are going through a horrible divorce. And then you get that voice. I was impressed that when they did the roast of him, that Ireland was there and made fun of it. And when all the stuff happened with Hilaria, she defended Hilaria. Maybe everything is fine with them.
Yeah.
And she just forgot to post, or posting is a pain in the ass. People don't realize you got to find the photo. You got to write a long thing. Maybe she just texted him.
You know how long it took me to find a photo of my father? He's taken like 6 photos in his entire life. I couldn't find. I know, some of them his face is right in the camera. So it took me like 2 days to find one that's halfway decent.
I always think Kris Jenner, I know, has someone's entire job.
Right.
To collect the photos and get the thing ready to go for each grandchild, friend, and whatever. And it's ready to go, and they post it, and it's, 14 photos of North's birthday throughout the years. But like, for an average person, and even when you're in this business and expected to do it, it's a fucking task. Hashtags. It's like...
Well, it's like you say, I think in your act, a person my dad's age, they just didn't take pictures of themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There wasn't Instagram, there wasn't selfies. So the guy's got like 9 pictures of himself. 2 of them in the background of some wedding. And then he wasn't posing for pictures. He doesn't have a headshot.
And
so
it's like,
tough.
I'm doing it for my audience to know, Heather's a good daughter about her dead dad. So no, I didn't even do it about my dad. I've recently did a picture of my parents on their anniversary because I was going through stuff and I knew it was June 4th and I happened to find a photo of them and I'm like, this is a sign and they look cute. And my mom kind of, I look like my mom.
Yeah.
But I also think like, the people at home, they don't care that much about what people's parents look like unless they're really invested in your life.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think my dad is now a pissed off butterfly who's going to come to me and be like, where was my Instagram post? Like,
a little gray-haired butterfly goes flapping.
Dad, I'm sorry. I went to Pilates instead of posting about you on Father's Day.
I went years ago. I used to work in a restaurant and I had to go to a funeral of one of the busboys that died. He was an older guy and we called him Tortuga because he was very slow, turtle in Spanish. Anyway, I went to his funeral, and it was a closed casket, and up in the front was the casket, and on top of the casket was a photograph. And it was just like a really bad driver's license picture. His driver's license photo that they had blown up and put in a frame and put on top of his casket. And I was like, I think they could have gotten a better picture of him. And then I said something to like his not his wife, but like his brother or something. He goes, well, that's the only picture we have. That's it. He never took another picture.
He wasn't back in those days. He wasn't be like, Join me for a day in the life of being a busboy at 65.
Yeah. Yeah. He took his driver's license photo, and that was.
Say hi, Chris. He's doing his side work. Roll those napkins, baby.
Right. So anyway,
no,
Tortuga had one picture, and it was on his casket, and that was it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. He sounds like a great
he was
guy.
a nice guy.
You went.
He was a nice guy.
But yeah, truly. So, this is just to remind people that he was in a fucking weird place. But it doesn't mean that grown men can't change and that they, can't be a better father the next time around.
Well,
so let's hope that he and Ireland are not having issues.
I don't know if you follow Eladia on Instagram, but she's going real heavy. She's doing a lot of comedy now on her Instagram. And it's painful.
Oh.
It is pain. First of all, I didn't realize how kiddie high the voice was.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's very
high like this.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, Alec.
I know.
Nobody wants to hear from you. They only want to hear from me and the kids.
When I'm talking, you're not talking. When I'm talking, you're not talking.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. And everyone wants to know, oh my gosh, what? Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah. So
and
it's a lot of
then she goes in
that.
a little Spanish, but even when she's not doing Spanish, it's very high. Yeah.
And so what she'll do now is I guess they decided to lean into all the hate. So she'll take hateful things that people wrote about her and she'll make fun of them or make light of them. People go, somebody wrote, why don't you go out and touch grass? She goes, okay, I will. And she runs outside and touches grass.
Also,
comedy's not for everybody.
Also, I know we all have haters, but you're not that special.
I know.
People are like, do you know what I've been through? It's like, yes, I do, because I've been there, but also we all have.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 2,000 followers, you've had mean things be written about you. And it does suck and it is hard and you shouldn't let it get to you because you're not special. That's what I learned in my old age.
I literally am now, I'm not wearing them currently, but I have Invisalign. I've been doing it for the last 11 weeks. Invisalign. It's getting better. My bottom teeth are getting real good.
You're not doing the top.
No, both. But
let me see, smile.
No, I don't want to because they're not done yet.
I can tell a difference.
I'm telling you, it's changing my whole face.
No, I know.
Anyway.
Drake does it.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
But you got to keep it up. Or it
No,
depends.
I'm doing it.
But I'm saying some people's teeth are movable and some people, once they're straight forever. But I would suggest anybody that does that to just pop them in, maybe even when you're happy with the result, maybe pop in the last one once a week.
No, they
for a
tell
night.
you got to wear a retainer afterwards.
Yeah.
But anyway, the reason I did it is because one of the comments under one of these YouTubes for Juicy Scoop was, who's her snaggletooth friend? They're talking about me. And I hardly have, they were just very little bit. But anyway, it sent me right to the Invisalign, which I'm happy. So whoever wrote that, you son of a bitch. See what you did?
I've had people call me buck tooth, and I do. I have an overbite.
Uh-huh.
But the only way to fix that is if I was to go and get a neck brace, and I'm not going to do that.
No.
So I don't care. I'm sorry.
You're doing fine.
I am not looking to have a perfect look.
No.
So whatever.
You made it this far.
I know. So I want to talk about this. This cat won the big golf thing.
U.S. Open.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was an exciting thing because the putt was went like this, it was crazy. And he was at the bottom. He was doing horrible. And then there was a weather break. And then he came back and won. But so it was the first time he won it. So right when it happened, I heard from my friend Mary Payne, who has a podcast, Pink Shade. And she's like, I'm watching this and I think that he hates his wife. She's like, he thanked his kids and he thanked it, and he kissed his, caddy and this and that. He didn't kiss the wife. The wife they have 2 little girls.
Okay.
And little, 1 and 3. And so then sure enough, she goes, oh my God, Google it right now. People are already talking about it. So I looked into it. This guy did a little story on it. The shot clock, or Justin Morelli, I guess, did it. And his daughter was sick. And in the middle of 5 a.m. of the last day of the Open, he had to go to CVS to get some medicine. So people are like, no wonder he's pissed at his wife. I mean, who makes your husband do that when he's got the biggest day of his life? And I was like, well, if there's 2 little kids and you don't have help, maybe it was babe, I'm up anyway, stressed about the thing. I'll go to CVS and you stay home with the kids. But what do you think of that? Like, let's say it was your biggest day. Let's say you're taping your special and your daughter's sick. And, everybody's different. Like, you, when we do shows together, you're never looking at notes.
No.
You're like, and you'd always do great. And other people are like, I need my quiet time alone. Like, everyone has their own, like, weird thing.
Right.
But what do you think of this whole situation? Do you think? I mean, he did not thank the wife.
Oh, so where does him
I mean,
and
they're
the
still
wife
together, but it just was weird that he wasn't like hugging and kissing her. He was like, the best thing about today is that I have my 2 daughters here. Like, he literally never mentioned her. And do you think he was pissed about having to go to CBS?
I mean, no. Sometimes you got to do, especially as a dad, you got to do some rough shit.
Yeah.
No, regardless of what you have going on that day, it's like, sorry,
Yeah.
you got to do it. I mean,
Right.
I'm not happy about half the things I got to do, but you got to do it. My whole life is just, as my mother would say, running from pillar to post. Running from pillar to post.
What does that even mean? A pillar?
I don't
like
know.
A pillar?
My mother used to say it all the time. We're running from pillar to post. So now I say it all the time. So yeah.
My dad used to say, and I know I've said this on the show, don't get your tit in a ringer.
Yeah. Which
Really
means
used to-
angry. Yeah.
No. Is that what that means? I don't even know if it means angry.
I thought it meant.
But I remember I finally go, what does that mean? And then my mom's like, because there used to be a way to wash clothes.
Oh yeah.
And if you're washing it, your nip
could
might
get
get
in.
caught in the little spules. And now you're caught. How are you going to get your tit
Right.
out?
Also, you used to say, in this guy's defense, never be too effusive of your significant
Right.
other when you win. Because
Whether it's an Oscar or whatever. Yeah,
Sandra Bullock, it was way too much. I remember when she won the Oscar and it was the tattooed guy at the time.
What
the
was his name?
Mechanic.
Jesse James.
Jesse James. And she was the greatest person. And then anytime they get a little too much,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's just trouble on the horizon.
Yes.
So maybe it's just, she's my wife.
Now, ever since Snoop Dogg, I noticed a lot of people just go, I want to thank myself. Like, I did it.
Yeah.
Nobody helped me. You're like, oh, all right, that's fine. But I love it. I think it's kind of funny. Okay, so there you go with that. This episode of Juicy Scoop is brought to you by Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Listen, I hear you. You're trying to book a fun family vacation. Every need is different, and I've been there for all of it. Whether you have toddlers, whether you have an elderly parent, maybe you've got middle schoolers, maybe you've got a big extended family. Now you've got young adults that want to be able to go off on their own, get their best coffee or room service. That is where Booking.com comes, because they will find the most ideal summer vacation situation for you and your family at this time in life. So whether you're booking for yourself, your partner, your picky teens, or your sleep light, rise early mom, you can find exactly what you're booking for on Booking.com. If our family can find the perfect stay on Booking.com, I know anyone can. Find exactly what you're booking for on Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. I know life can be really overwhelming, and sometimes the best thing you could do is just slip into another world. I mean, don't we all need that, especially nowadays? My gosh. And Dipsea is your perfect escape. Dipsea is the audio app that lets you immerse yourself into spicy stories that transport you to your wildest fantasies. So whether you're looking for a rugged cowboy or a Scottish sailor or a sexy rendition of Pride and Prejudice, you can find it. And there's new chapters that are released every week, so you'll always find something new to enjoy. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial plus 25% off your annual subscription when you go to dipseasstories.com/juicyscoop. That's DIPSEA stories.com/juicyscoop for 30 free days and 25% off your subscription. dipseasstories.com/juicyscoop. This popped up on my Instagram, and I thought it was so funny, and it was just 911 TV news suggested for you. So, the phone knows who you are. And it's 911 Nashville. We're casting and looking for females to play cougar types, 35 to 55 years of age, who can react and engage in a party atmosphere. These scenes shoot June 11th. I missed the shoot date.
Oh.
But I just thought that was so funny that my phone knew that I was a cougar, knew that I watched 911 and
Right.
knew that I might be desperate to
Yeah.
get on TV.
You get like some extra work in the background of a, wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I wonder what the scene is that they need cougar types. That seems pretty specific to the party.
I watch a lot of 911s. And
Are these the scripted shows on
they're
Fox with like Rob
scripted
Lowe?
and it was one of those that we like hate watch too, which we'll get into and just like that. But my kids and I used to like love it because it was just so crazy, like the stories because about LA cops and firefighters. But then they went to like Texas and Nashville and stuff like that. Anyway, 911, it's a fun show. Okay, let me get into this. Meghan Markle reveals whether her Confessions of a Female Founder podcast will return for season 2. So I'm like, wait, you're not going to, first of all, I can't believe you already did a season. You already did a season.
It was like 7 episodes or something, right?
So I look it up. During the chat, Meghan confirmed her podcast, which premiered April 8th.
Yeah.
It just premiered 2 months ago.
She might not.
It's currently on pause.
Oh.
Because she says she's just so.
And this is the second podcast. There was another one.
This is the second podcast. This one is just about talking to, the Spanx, which I predicted. I go, right when I heard this, I go, oh, we got to hear from that girl who created Spanx again.
Yeah.
Literally heard her story,
is
her
she
origin
the one
story a million times.
Is she the one that's in the clip, all the viral clips about that podcast with the two of them? Is that the girl?
No, that girl is the one
makeup. She
who
runs the
created
makeup.
the makeup. And she's like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
How are
love
you?
that.
Let me ask you. How are you?
Yes.
How are you?
That's so nice to have.
And then whatever that podcast is, she'll put out like 20 clips from it.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you want anyone to watch the full hour? Like,
I didn't.
obviously
I just
you have
watched
a
the
team.
clip.
Yeah, and there's been other people that she's just like, yes. And I mean, listen, she doesn't feature, so she's very happy and she's very rich. And so this was a different interview that she did.
Okay.
And she just like, I'm so working on my brand and I want to just make jam. I want to see what jam can do. I don't know that this is coming back. And I'm like, you interviewed 6 people.
Right.
You had a huge production team. All you had to do was just say, how'd you start this business and sit back for 50 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
You didn't have to like go, like it's a pretty easy interview. You didn't have to like study their life or watch
Not
their
sitting
movie.
here reading
or
Tyler Perry's sexual texts.
like I did the research for Juicy
We're working
Scoop.
hard over here.
Yeah. And I was like, this isn't a hard job. Anyway, I don't know how much the podcast company paid her, but like, who is going to be the next sucker a year from now to be like, okay, now you're going to talk about mommy stuff, like on your stupid podcast. She is doing season 2 of Netflix, her cooking thing, which a lot of people watch because it was one of those I can't turn away. And I don't think it was an expensive shoot, unlike a 911 where you have to create like an earthquake in LA.
Yeah.
Like this is just go to this house that we rented down the street from you and make some,
honey.
and take some pretzel balls that you got from Trader Joe's and put it in a cellophane thing with a Durlap wrap or whatever. So, so anyway, I just thought that was so funny as people have done this job for so long. It's like, it's just going on pause. I don't know. I know people want more.
Yeah.
I know they can't get enough. No.
Every podcast I see her, all she talks about is how she's so busy.
She's
so busy.
With drop off, I have 2 kids in 2 different schools.
Yeah.
So I get up at 6:30 and by the time I drop off one and then, drop off's hard. Yeah. I get home and it's 9:30 and then I have meetings for the jam and for the TV show. And that is why I had to put the podcast on hold. Yeah, because it wasn't doing well or Lemonada had a deal where they're like, we don't have to renew you for the second one. And no one listened or cared. So we're going to keep our $5 million to give to somebody else for 6 episodes. I don't know who's left.
No.
No one's left. Julia Roberts. Okay.
Oh, soon enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're, according to this, acquire
Katy Perry.
Katy
Perry must be thinking, where did it all go wrong? Everyone loved me.
I'll tell you where it went wrong.
Everybody, wasn't she always kind of like, didn't people kind of like her?
Yes.
What was it? Was it the space flight?
There were so many things. One, when she was a judge on American Idol, she was weird.
She was always
weird
trying to be
the
too
guests.
funny.
She was either being mean to the girls that were good and pretty or a little predatory to the young guys to be funny.
Right.
So there was that turned people off. Then there was, she found a house
Some
that was
real estate
owned
stuff,
by nuns.
Right.
And somehow got in there and would not get her jaws off of that house and was able to attain it. And
so kick the nuns out?
Yes, the nuns fought to keep it. They owned it outright. Somehow, I don't know, they were elderly nuns and somehow she got a predatory realtor or somebody to get in there.
Yeah.
They went all the way to court. Like at a certain point, you're Katy Perry.
So just
Find
get
another
another
fucking
house.
house. Like, really? Like, you have money. You're married to Orlando Bloom or whatever. I don't know if they're married, but they have a child together. And she wouldn't stop. And at one point, the nun stood in court and said, "You'll pay for that." And she died.
The nun
The
died?
nun dropped dead in court trying to keep the house for the other old nuns. And the old nuns are not taken care of by the Catholic Church by priests, which I did not know until I was 25. They are their own corporation. So they have this property that they get through donations, and that is where they have to live. They don't have all these other things that a normal old person might have, or someone who's a priest.
So did Katy Perry move into that home?
I don't know if she moved in, but she got it.
Yeah.
Then she found a house in Santa Barbara.
Like a Vietnam vet or something.
He was a vet. He's rich. He's a Real Housewives of Dallas father-in-law.
Okay.
And again, he was sick. Some realtor came, and he signed something. 3 days later, he was like, "Wait, what? No, I don't want to sell my house." And they're like, "Too bad, too bad." And they fought and they fought and fought. Now, in any real estate deal I know, there is a waiting period. There's, you at least, even an all-cash deal, you have 15 days to pull out. So I'm like, how did this happen? She got it. Booted him out. Elderly man booted out of the house. Now there, according to this, is a new law called the Perry Law based on Katy Perry. According to this. Now, I say according to this because in this day and age, there is fake news. So I don't know. Or maybe they're trying to get this bill passed where if a real estate deal goes on with someone over 75, they have a longer period of time to retract it.
Really?
Yes.
So that's where...
So that there isn't any kind of elder abuse taking place.
So people they had a bad taste in their mouth from those things. And
then the astronaut thing.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people think they never went, but it is weird that everybody else was looking out and she was just doing selfies and promoting her thing. And then the concert looked lame. There were all those videos of people.
In the end, that nun won. She might have died, but she was like, "And I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you the worst choreographer in the world, and then you're going to see what happens to you."
Glory be to God.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't it funny, little Katy Perry?
Right. Look at you now.
Maybe I shouldn't have kissed a girl.
No.
Maybe you should have just lived with
Good
girls
one.
and not kissed them like me. Anyway.
Speaking of nuns.
Yes.
Rosie O'Donnell, a nun.
Wait, we're going to get into that one more thing.
Okay.
But according to this, TMZ exclusive, Orlando Bloom is going solo to the Bezos Sanchez wedding without Katy. So they think all this shit has now affected their marriage.
But isn't she the one who's friends with the Bezoses?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
How could this story be true? She was just there for the bachelorette party.
Yeah, she was at the bachelorette
while
party.
Kim was going through the trial for the Paris robbers, and then they did a.
Yes.
I don't know. Okay, now, honey, and just like that, please.
Okay. I'm all caught up. I've seen them all.
I want to
Seen all
know.
three.
I've talked a lot about it. I want to hear Chris's opinion.
Well,
what do you think of this season? What do you think is going on with this show?
Well, first of all, my wife was a huge fan of Sex and the City.
As
Loved
most
it. Yes,
girls are.
loved it. Had no desire to watch this at all.
Okay.
No desire. And still has not watched it. And then last night I was kind of telling her a little bit about it. And she was like, "I don't understand who the show is for." Because people who are fans of the original one would hate this. And certainly if you picked up on this show, you'd be like, "What is this show?" None of it makes sense if you didn't know the backstory of Sex and the City. So that, I agree. Who is this show for? Secondly, this is the second season now, or third, whatever it is. But this is the second time I've had to watch an old man jerk off.
Yes, I forgot
because
that
we had
Big
to watch
did it.
Big jerk off
I
too.
forgot
Remember
that
his
Big-
glasses were down, and they were
She was
trying
like,
to.
"Touch
They were doing
me."
like a dirty talk too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right before he wound up dying.
No woman, that's the thing. No woman, that's why I said in my last episode, are any women writing this? Because no women want to see a guy jerk off. It is not a turn on. But this guy goes, but gay guys do. And I'm like, yeah, it's written by gay guys because there's nothing more horrifying than like licking your palm and like nobody wants to see how you get yourself off when we're not around.
Like
it's not a
the
turn
actor
on.
John Corbett must have been like, really? Like, why? Come on, can we do something else? Like, I feel like that's so embarrassing.
And
to
then
do.
Sarah Jessica Parker admitted on Howard Stern, I don't watch it.
Yeah.
So it's not a taped sitcom where even if you're not in the scene, you saw what other people did, you had a table read. I think she shows up for her scenes and gets the fuck out and is doing some mental health care by not watching it.
Have you noticed? Which I think the same thing because
Yeah.
I've noticed she doesn't really do any scenes with the new characters outside of the Indian
Seema
woman.
girl,
Yeah,
yeah.
Seema. But she's never involved in those whole other plot lines, with the black couple, and she's like, I'm not getting involved in whole new plot lines of characters they're trying to shoehorn in. Like nobody wants those plot lines. That
Yeah.
they seem fake and
They're
seem forced
boring.
and
It's just
they're
they're boring.
boring.
They're just
I think they're
boring.
leaning way too much into comedy or
Well,
trying.
Yes.
It's,
Well, just
it's fucking painful.
speaking of the other character, the beautiful girl, Nicole Parker, who is a black documentarian.
Yeah.
Her story, which is boring as shit. But anyway, I see next week that since her female editor has left, in walks, she goes, oh, what's this? What's she like? The next time they're like, it's not a she, it's a he. In walks this gorgeous black man that looks like he was a former professional baseball player turned, model.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of male editors in my life.
Dan Brown.
They're not
Yeah.
this.
Uh-huh.
They're not, you're in a,
Yeah.
they're not like,
Right.
I mean, so, of course she's going to then, be tempted to have an
Yeah.
affair or whatever. And yes, the comedy. Okay, so we talked about like the corny of the comedy writing is horrific.
Horrific. There's puns that are. I watched
Yeah.
your episode last week talking about it.
Yeah.
The puns are so painful. Like I have to blame all of it on Michael Patrick King. I believe
Comes from the
because he
top.
directs it, and
Yeah.
the directing is bad. Everything is bad.
The acting is bad.
I know that's what I'm saying. So that's part of the direct.
Right,
and,
right.
Like and just and then the whole plot with the Cantone, Mario Cantone, and his bread business or whatever. I'm like, this is
Wait,
the
I want to go to that. I want to go
dumbest
back.
thing I've ever seen.
Okay.
It's so dumb.
And first of all, these legs are clearly not the skinny
Right.
young kid. Like,
Yeah.
how do you have the legs like that are huge muscle leg and you're like skinny on top, but whatever. I don't know Italian accents. If this guy is really Italian, but to me it sounds like a very bad accent.
Right.
His boyfriend's Italian, and their whole thing. I'm like, I've watched this episode so many times because it's so bad. I made my friends watch. First, I
Yeah.
watched it alone. Then I made my sorority sisters sit through
This
it.
episode 3.
Three.
Yeah.
I made my sorority sisters sit through it over the weekend because I was so angry. Then Shannon spent the night on Saturday, and I made her get in my bed and watch it, and she fell asleep. And I was like, I don't know if I should let you leave the house before I show you the worst scenes. Then yesterday I made Drake watch it, but I did find one funny line after I watched it the third
Okay.
time. In the dinner scene with Mario Cantone,
Yeah.
where Charlotte's like, I'm a mother, and everyone's saying, Mom, where's my clean laundry? Mom, where's my... And then he goes to the girl who was originally Rocky, who was, I think she was trans, and now this year they're just not talking about
They're not
that.
yeah.
And then he goes, he comes over with his bread, and he goes...
Mario Cantone.
Yeah, Mario Cantone
Yeah.
goes, Mom, should I wear more deodorant? The answer is yes. Like right to the girl Rocky. And I go, that is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like it's so mean to say to a
Right.
15-year-old girl, but it is kind of funny. And I'm like, that one he must have ad-libbed himself because he is a comedian. Like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But his whole thing of like, and this one won't wear the jumpsuit to get this whole bread thing of like,
It's First of
And
all,
look at this dick. I have a question.
I know. What are they?
So on this side is the dick.
I know. What's on the other side? Because
Okay.
they showed several guys.
Okay, so how does he have two dicks?
No, I think
Because-
those are supposed to be the balls, maybe.
So that's what I said. I said, is it the balls? So can I ask a question?
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
When you wear tight jeans,
Mm-hmm.
you split the parts?
No, I mean, obviously, this is somebody who's far more well endowed or whatever fake thing that. Yeah, I don't have that issue.
Do guys put balls on one side and dick on another?
No, it all kind of morphs into one. You know, it just looks like a big ball of flesh.
Okay, so wait, I want to talk about kind of cute other thing. Okay, also in episode 3, there is a whole fried chicken storyline
Yeah.
that starts from the beginning.
Who's that guy, though? The guy who comes in and goes, I'm the manager of the...
I need to know.
I'm like, is he somebody famous that I'm supposed to know?
This is what I'm saying. I need to know some of these guest stars, who is their parent? Who is their parent, best friend?
Because it's bad
aunt?
acting. It's a weird look. It's a...
It made no... I thought...
But it takes you out of the show.
Yeah,
like
I'm
not
like-
that you're like also like, why is that person involved in the? Because it's odd dress.
Also they show them on the plane. Okay, they show them on the plane.
Yeah.
Seema and Sarah Jessica, because now that I've watched it 4 times, I can. They're on the plane going to go to Virginia to like do her speaking engagement, meet Aiden, and she goes, and I'm like, there's a pissy, flight attendant who's like, everyone needs to sit down because she's still putting her bag in there. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And she sits down and she's like, can I have a tequila soda, please? It's my vacation. And he's like, you can wait. And she goes, why can't a gay man just give me what I want? And then later on when they're at the restaurant, then she mentions, I really want fried chicken.
Uh-huh.
Then they go to the restaurant and Seema goes, I'll have them. Is the Mama's fried chicken really as good? And I almost feel they're trying to make her like Kim Cattrall. Like, darling, I want some fried chicken. Bring that grease and put it on my clit. Like, I was like, what did she do? So she's like, is the fried chicken really as good as you say? And then he's like, oh, Mama went heart healthy. We got to do something else. And I was
we
like,
got the wrong menu.
so I'm like, and then we finally get to why someone had the assignment of writing a fried chicken storyline. How much did Kentucky Fried Chicken pay them? Because do you remember when we were at Chelsea lately, they came in and we did like 6 of these. And they're like, we're getting paid a lot of money for you guys to write a sketch about, one was tampons, one was
Bud Light Lime.
Bud Light Lime, and there was like a couple others.
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah,
I thought the
they were
challenge
fun.
was kind of fun. So it was like, as a writing thing, it was kind of, we didn't get any extra money from it, but I thought it was kind of a fun thing.
We did like a Arby's too. Remember we all went to an Arby's?
We did
in the middle of the night.
We'd come and do a special thing.
Yeah, we shot like commercials.
We each got paid like $330 extra, but who knows how much the show or E got.
Right.
That's fine. This was our job, was to write. So I'm like, there is no way that Kentucky Fried Chicken didn't give them $1 million.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this was all for Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like, someone isn't struggling with weight, but it's to show that it doesn't matter. This is what you want to eat. Like, and then does Kentucky Fried Chicken have to like approve the storyline? Like, those are the things of being what we were writers on TV shows that I'm like, I would like to know, like, because this was just so boring and made no sense at all. Mm-hmm. And no one cares about your like real estate job.
No. And that guy who plays her boss.
And he's like, I'm 90. And I'm like,
I know.
There's no way that like a big realtor that made it in New York would be an eccentric like San Francisco hippie.
Yeah.
That's not who would be the biggest. Look who the biggest realtor people are in New York City. And they're like conservative looking people. Like what? That was so.
And isn't that guy who comes in
like
and who takes her job? Isn't he a real realtor? He's on that show,
right? And he's done several acting jobs, and his acting has not improved.
No, I know. It's just like, now we're going to deal with this guy.
And then he goes, I like her. You would know her if she's a top realtor. You would already have known her and been like, Seema, like let's work together. I mean, like it's so stupid. Oh, then okay, let me show you something else. Okay, so now they're eating the chicken, and I hate fake eating on a show. Like
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then could the foreshadowing not be so freaking obvious? So then she gets a rent-a-car and she goes over those grates that say don't back up. And they literally zoom in on the side. I'm like, we got it.
Yeah.
We know she's going to back up through it. why did you have to show us that? Like,
I know all of it. That's what I'm saying.
just
That's the
everything
bad
keeps
directing.
taking you out of it. You're like,
Yeah.
what is this? And so I'm very frustrated by all that. Tell me what else you think. I have notes
Honestly,
here.
I'll say this: I thought Rosie O'Donnell was kind of good,
I'm so
would,
sad Rosie left.
and I would have liked to have. They should have kept her in it.
How great would it have been if they hit it off,
Yeah,
and then Miranda was like, "So, I'm going on a religious retreat with the nun." Like, that would have been funny. Or she's going to church, and then Miranda's like, I was raised Catholic. Like, there could have been a whole funny thing
honestly,
that they could have hit it off.
would have been more fun watching them walk through the M&M store than the dumb plot lines they've come up with. They kept goofing on the fact that she was doing
I know that was also like, why would you be? First of all, you decided to sleep with a woman that you met for 1 second. Like, you're to just take home this girl.
right.
Like, you're that horny to be with another body that you're just like you don't know she's a murderer. Then you're like making fun of the fact that she's not like a true blue New Yorker. Like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know what's worth, Miranda, you being with a tourist or with a nun.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, what? I can't.
And now, of course, the new gardener comes in is going to be the new love interest, right?
Well, that whole thing was like, then she goes up and she's like, you're sure, like,
Home of the Whopper.
I'm like,
we're doing
this
these
is what
jokes.
I'm-
We're doing these jokes.
this is what I'm
An old
thinking. Like, I'm
Burger King?
imagining the writer's room and they're like, all right, what are your funny jokes? And then somebody was like, I saw this hipster with a Whopper shirt. Like, it would be funny if she was like, that's copywritten. Now, it would maybe make sense if she was a lawyer, copywriter lawyer,
Right.
or in advertising. She's a realtor. Why would she care? Why would she start with that?
Yeah.
Your shirt is copywritten. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't go with the cadence of the character, the background of the character. And then he's like, well, my attorney's Ronald McDonald. Like, right off the bat, you'd be like, oh, I didn't even know that I didn't even think
Yeah,
about this. Who
right.
are you? Like, if you're a gardener, you'd be like, this is a shirt I wore, lady. Like,
Right,
I don't
just
know, but you're pretty
planting.
cute. Like, if you're going to have a romance, he wouldn't be this witty thing who's into gardening. And then, listen, I'm like, and then he has his nephew there, and I'm like, okay, what is going on here? So I have a
That was
prediction.
another weird
I
casting.
have a prediction.
Well,
I have a prediction.
Okay.
And everyone, I'm telling you, we thought that he was going to go for Carrie. Now Seema likes him. Okay, the gardener. He has a young adult autistic nephew that he
Yeah.
brings to work with him, which I'm all for showing that. I think that, but I think it's got to lead to something.
Absolutely.
And because everybody has no original ideas on this writing staff, Seema and him are getting intimate. And his nephew is over. This is my prediction. Or Carrie, one of them is getting
Okay.
intimate with Gardner. And she went and bought like sexy lingerie or something. And he comes in, and because he knew like the exact like statistics of her car, because
Yeah.
he's on the spectrum and they have a talent for that he's going to come in and go, and she's going to go, and try to cover her like bra and underwear. And he'd be like, that's Victoria's Secret from 2007. That was a vintage push-up bra. That's going to be the joke.
You know what? You're probably dead right. That's when I'm completely finished with the show. Or if
I'll never
Yeah.
be finished with the show. I will watch it till I'm the last person watching it.
I just read an article like New Yorker Magazine or something that said basically that. It said, let's just all watch it right into the ground because it's
because
just
it brings me passion.
right.
I don't have a passion of hate or love for any other show right now
than this one.
than this one. And like Shannon's like falling asleep, and I'm like, no, like I people are saying, Heather, I'm done. I won't watch it. And I'm like, no.
Do you
have
think-
to watch it because I'm watching it.
Do you think we're gonna have to watch Steve jerk off? Are you ready?
Come
Hey,
on.
Miranda, remember
Yeah.
when we Steve Jobs?
Come on, Miranda. You're going to make me take my cock out. I don't want to do it. It's not right for me.
Okay,
I got
now,
the ca-
okay, so of course my favorite storyline that I talked about was them going out partying all night. I
with the-
love espresso
with the
martini.
Swedish
and
art.
everyone's like, what happened? Why does Charlotte now have these big eyes all the time?
Yeah.
And so we were watching it, and after she gets hungover, she was putting eye drops in her eyes, and Drake goes, Is that why? Is that a part of the storyline of why her eyes are so big all the time?
She also seems like she's almost to the point where she's gotten like she's a little mental or something. Yeah, it's just like they've become such characters themselves.
Yes.
That I don't know, it's all gone. And then the hackiness of like the old men, because they did two different old men. Like, I'm cool, right? The black guy was like,
oh my God, you're right.
Yeah. He was
they
like,
did with Lisa, with the girl Lisa Parker's husband. He was like, I'm cool, right? I'm cool, right?
How can I be cool?
And then also, like, mom jeans are in right now, so that joke is old. Like, they're
the
completely
skinny
bad with
jeans
the jokes.
joke is like, really?
Right, but then also, the little girl goes, oh, are you going to the club in your mom jeans? And I'm like, mom jeans are actually super in right now. So, like, that was a joke from 12 years ago that Tina Fey did on SNL. Like,
and then he can't,
who are these writers?
Can't get the button flies open. So
he pisses his pants? Like, that's just gross.
I know. I mean, if I was some of these actors, I'd be like, honestly, outside of John Corbett and a few others, like Evan Handler doesn't work that much. He's probably like, I'll do the piss.
I get why everyone is like, and why you won't watch it. Because you're just like, and I'm not, I mean, if I was them, I'd be like, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to, and they even did a bit where Miranda goes, I'm hate watching Love Island, where how could this bisexual girl be this into guys and girls and be such a bad picker? I'll never, and then, and then she's like, you can stop watching. She's like, I can't, people think that was like them knowing that everyone's hate watching. Yeah. And so they had to write that in. Right. We get it. You're hate watching.
Well, you know what? I'm with you, though. I kind of watch, too. And then there are certain scenes where I'm like, all right, wasn't the worst scene, so.
No, like I was saying, the Adderall is actually a good storyline. Yeah. And there's going to be something where Aiden then gets pissed at Carrie because he's like, I don't want Wyatt on Adderall. You went and got the Adderall from my ex-wife. Yeah. You didn't ask me about it. Like, you need to tell me when you're talking to my ex. Like, we have a problem. Like, trust me.
This is going to end this season, right? Aiden and her over this season. I think we're done with that one.
And also, why does a guy that lives in, I'm assuming, a $6 to $7 million home with a 2-story guest house, why is it always because they're rich and they're on a farm, they have to have a truck from 1975? Yeah. You're telling me you have a working farm.
For jerking off. So he could lay out and jerk off.
Well, it's not great because he beeps the horn.
Yeah, he beeps the horn.
But I'm like, it's with no air conditioning. And he's like, well, the air conditioning's good in the house. But you have a truck that does, and that you're picking up your girlfriend and her ritzy friend. You don't have an extra car that's like a normal car. Like, keep the truck for fun. But like, a rich person would have a cute Bronco that looks old, but it's new and costs $150,000.
One of the other fun parts of the show is that they have to find a bunch, because they're all of a certain age now, and they have to find a bunch of around 60-year-old actors who aren't famous, because they can't pay that kind of money. Yeah. So they got to find somebody who's been in the acting game a long time. But the reason why they haven't achieved any success is because they're bad actors. You know what I mean? But they're good looking. And like, so you're seeing at least like all of them. Every guy who talks to Seema, because Seema had a whole thing where there was like 9 different guys who came to the bar, and she would, give them the ups, she read them their whatever.
And what boss would ever go to his 55-year-old executive employee and go, I'm buying you a matchmaker because you need to find somebody. Yeah. No man would ever say that to a 55-year-old single woman. They'd be like, you're on your own.
But seeing the bad 60-year-old actors come in every episode is my favorite part.
It is amazing. It's the best thing ever. So then, and then these girls, the art girls are my favorite. It's so,
I mean, this looks something out of this looks like out of a Saturday Night Live sketch. This picture.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like they're trying to. Okay, then I want to say this popped up. This was a sketch that was done 20 years ago, or around then, with B. Arthur playing and
Abe Vigoda.
And Abe Vigoda, and then I watched the whole thing. I remember it, and it was, what if Sex and the City if they're old? Yeah. And I watched the whole sketch. And Charlotte, the character of Charlotte, who's being played by the mom, remember the lady from Facts of Life? Yes. And then there's Sally Struthers, and then there's somebody else, and they all have wigs on, and they're all acting like the other girls.
The teacher from Facts of Life, Charlotte Ray was her name.
Charlotte Ray. They go to a nightclub. Oh. And the same lines that happen with Charlotte, where they go, I've had hot flashes that are more fun than this night. Yeah. I'm dreaming of my slippers. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God. So it really is a sketch now.
And then she's doing her thing. And I mean, it's crazy. Okay. This is a rumor that is going around.
Oh.
I have talked very little about the phenomenon that is Bonnie Blue, who is a woman, English, very attractive, white woman with big blue eyes, perfect body, perfect tan, who does these marathons where guys can show up, and she keeps trying to break her records.
Like 1,000 men.
And the questions I have are, is it that she just lays there like with her legs in stirrups or whatever, and each guy goes 1 pump, 3 pumps? It can't be that every guy is going off. How many constitutes so that she can get to the next one and break the record?
I don't know. I don't know the rules,
Well, the rumor is that she, in fact, was born male.
This is my favorite one yet. I have not heard this one.
And when I heard it, I said, I don't know if that's true, but as a woman, it's for even the most, prolific porn stars in history and are flabbergasted by this.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know. It would this would. I don't know if it's true.
Now,
I don't know
who
if
is
they
that
just
person
found.
in this picture?
I don't know if they just found a guy that looked like her, and someone is just creating this rumor. I mean, apparently she says she has parents, and they are all supportive. I don't know if we've ever seen the parents. I've wondered if this whole thing was a hoax. Like, is this even true? But you see the men and the this and that. So I don't know. But if
like,
someone had if this was the case, it would really be interesting.
Like the 1,000 guys, is that something that you could, like, is it on Pornhub or is it on OnlyFans? Is something you watch?
These like videos where
or she just says, I did 1,000.
Like they'll do like a song where she and another girl are like, it's about, like the song will be like, about to get crazy. And then these guys all have masks on and they're behind them. Well, now you could just hire actors to do that.
Right.
And then there's rumors where people like, when you find out your guy went to the Bonnie Blue or whatever, I'm just like, how do we know if this is even happening? I hope it's not happening.
Is there something that you, like, can you watch it on OnlyFans? Like actual insertion or something of 1,000 people?
I mean, I would think the whole thing, if this is real, yes. And that is how you are making, millions of dollars a month so that eventually you can retire your nether region. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. So I had my girlfriends over for the weekend, and they're all in different industries.
Right.
One's in software, one's in, pharmaceuticals, and one is in like HR of like big departments.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of AI talk.
Oh, yeah.
Like you wouldn't think it was menopause and AI talk. A lot of it.
That sounds like Sex in the City.
Yeah. But I was like, actually, this is more interesting conversation. And my one friend said that, there's talk or whatever that OnlyFans is looking to sell or whatever because they think that OnlyFans will be 100% taken over by AI, and these girls won't have the ability to make the money they're making now.
You mean AI, like the people will be AI?
Yeah, I mean, already we know that the communication and stuff is obviously not them, or you hire somebody, whether they're in India or in your guest house or whatever. But I mean, I still think that if you're I don't know. But it's just like anyway, it was just weird. So I don't know if it's true or not. Also, this came across. These girls are real conjoined sisters. And I came across a sketch. They do sketches about themselves being conjoined sisters, being funny.
Oh, good.
They just laugh about it.
Oh, well, that's good.
There's like
that's
a
one
funny
way to handle
sketch
it.
about how that like somehow they're like talking about how like the mom, like a guy's acting like their mom, and they're like yelling at him like, why did you, tie us together to save money or something? Like, I don't know what the sketch is, but.
Oh, that's good. I thought they were going to say they're on OnlyFans. I was like, I don't know if I want to need that.
I saw this Steve Carell did a commencement speech
Okay.
at Northwestern.
Yeah.
And then he goes, and now for our mid-commencement speech dance break. And the music starts, and it seemed like such a bomb of a joke.
Oh, he did like a dance?
Everyone just like got up and he like danced. And, whoever was near, oh, isn't this great? Because it's Steve Carell.
Yeah.
And comes down the audience. And I'm like, so then you do a mid-dance and then you have to go back and talk to, I can't think of a worse way to like do a stand-up bit. Like if you're
Right.
gonna sing or dance, you like do it at the beginning or the end. You don't do it like midway. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's not a stand-up, so he probably learned that when he got back up and tried to.
I am still having gone to a lot of commencement speeches in my life since I have grown kids. They don't get any more interesting unless you do have like a star.
Yeah. Right.
Like, if I was at college, I would pick a star every time.
Yeah.
We do not need the person who won the humanitarian award for, this continent or
Yeah.
whatever. We need like the Will Ferrell's, Steve Carell. I'm sure his speech was great. I just saw the one dance thing. I would have told him, I don't think you need it.
Right.
But talk about The Office, talk about things like something.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, okay. Oh, Bianca is still on it. She went out in a see-through nude one-piece suit and fur boats.
So she's still
fur
doing it
boots.
without Kanye. So a lot of people said it was Kanye making her dress like that. And
now she like brings her sister along.
oh, good.
So
They're not conjoined, are they?
no.
Can
Tell me what else is going on in your life.
Well, I'll ask you a couple of.
Yes.
With summertime.
Yes,
we're
summertime
in it.
fun. Yeah.
Are you familiar with a sardines summer? It's Sardine
No.
Girl Summer.
No.
Have
what
you
is
heard
that?
anything about this?
Please do tell.
Oh, okay. Have you noticed sardines are on everything now? Sardines on every clothing, every handbag, everything.
What does a sardine even look
It looks
like?
like a little, basically it's like a little tiny, just a shape of a fish.
Okay.
And it's on everything. And they're
I've
calling it.
never even eaten a sardine because there was always like a roast thing that
Yeah,
like people
in
would
a
have in a
can.
can.
It's
and
like
I guess,
old men eat it.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Anyway, it's Sardine Girl Summer. You probably didn't know that.
No, I
I'm
didn't.
here to tell you, everybody and your listeners.
Yeah.
Sardine Girl Summer. I heard about it a couple of weeks ago, and I've
Yeah.
since mentioned it on my podcast. And everybody is sending me, go to Target, go to any store. Everything is covered in sardines. Every dress,
Does
every
anyone
shirt.
know why? Who started it?
It's some fashion thing that came out of like Italy or something, and they're calling it Sardine Girl Summer.
Fascinating.
So I recommend you're going to go into on your vacations coming
Yeah.
up now. It's July is coming. You need to get yourself something sardine earrings, you name it. It's everywhere. Sardine
okay,
Girl Summer.
I'm on it. And then also, I know you've heard of the Labadoobadoo or whatever,
Oh,
those little dolls.
yeah.
So what is the deal? Because
I have no idea.
first of all, I don't have a real Birkin. I would never buy this to put on purses or whatever. I get why little girls would want it.
Yeah.
It's the Beanie Babies of our time or the Cabbage Patch Dolls or
Right.
whatever. And it's a marketing way to get them to go around. Don't understand that and don't find it a particularly interesting conversation about it. But whatever.
No.
Good for them. Like make
My
your
daughter
money.
has not asked for these yet. I haven't heard anything about it other than what I'm reading about Labadoos or whatever. Yeah,
I think it's little girls, but it's also like adult women.
yeah, it's adult. I see adult women wearing them.
Yeah.
But that's just it's one of those.
Like
dumb
Kathy
things.
Hilton just had a party where like all the Labadoobies or whatever came there. Or like it was like, oh, come and you could buy other things. So she's got like a jewelry line, but then also they had a big thing where like you could, I
You
don't
could
know.
buy that
Or
at
they
the
were
party.
giving them away to the people at the party. I don't know.
They're like $90 a piece or something.
Yeah. And I guess I guess it started with that whole thing, kind of like how there was the unboxing of like food or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what you're going to get. So I guess that's the fun of it.
Yeah. Well, and can I ask you another
Yes.
summer-related question?
Yeah.
Do you have a song of the summer? Have you heard anything where you're like, this is the one? Like the Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter last year seemed to be song of the summer.
Well, it's not the one that Charlotte danced to. I-ba-da-ba-do, I-ba-da.
Have you heard Will Smith's new one, Pretty Girls?
I did. I talked about
That's
that on
pretty
Tuesday, and I
rough.
actually thought it was kind of catchy.
Oh, really?
It's like, how does it go?
Something about Pretty
I
Girls.
like
Yeah.
pretty girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know that it's going to be a hit.
No, this is
Yeah.
I haven't heard one yet.
Yeah.
Outside of like maybe Benson Boone or something.
Yeah.
Mystical, magical. Which someone told me it's just physical by Olivia Newton-John, and now when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, it is physical by Olivia Newton-John. It's like the same
funny
song.
when you like hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
you're-
that's it.
So you're coming to my party next week.
I am.
I am very
I don't really understand
excited.
what it is, but I'll be there.
It's just a celebratory party, past apps, cool drinks,
Okay.
cute people.
How many people?
Funny
are you
people.
How many people? Is there gonna
100.
be 100 people?
Hopefully.
Oh my God, I didn't
Or
think.
12.
Yeah. I was thinking more along the lines of 12, but 100's great.
No, it's like a real party.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like a real party celebrating people like you.
But I'm the biggest. I mean, I feel like I need some sort of
You're going to get a special
outside
thing.
of you.
You're going to get a special
Okay,
situation
if-
that's going to happen. There's
if-
going to be a mic moment of me where I say some things.
Oh, I don't
and-
want to say anything. But
No,
if
I will be
Okay.
toasting you.
but I'm saying, okay, let's just say the cast of your show. You're the star of the show.
Yes.
Juicy Scoop.
Yes.
But if this were the Wizard of Oz,
Yes.
you're Dorothy. I'm definitely the Scarecrow.
100%.
Okay. Just let that be known.
And then Brandy and Julie are the good witch and the bad witch.
Right, exactly. Guy Branum's the Tin Man, or the Cowardly Lion, whatever he wants
Guy
to be.
Branum's a Cowardly
yeah,
Lion.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God. Can someone just put that together? I
Yeah.
know they can do I know someone can do that for fun. Put a little
Anyway.
cast together.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it.
Spencer Pratt. Princess Pratt.
Oh, yeah,
can be
Spencer Pratt.
He can be
He'll-
the Tin Man,
he
and then
could be the
Guy
Tin
can
Man.
be the
Cowardly Lion.
Yes, 100%. And then the two witches. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Peter is Oz.
Totally. Drake is one of the Munchkins.
Yeah.
That's
Or flying
6'5",
monk-
but that's been
No, they're both Drake.
and Brandon?
Drake and Brandon are flying monkeys.
Yeah, they're flying monkeys. Yes.
We got it. We figured it out. Anyway, one more thing.
Yes.
I brought my summer fashion.
Let's see it.
I'm going to Montauk, July 1st.
I love a
Now, can I
Montauk
just tell
sun.
everybody if I have no connections anymore. I don't know anybody. I know you have a large audience and you have a hipper, cooler audience.
Wait, when do you leave? How long are you there
I'm
for?
there July 1st to the 14th, like 2 weeks.
Okay.
But there's like some new places.
Oh, it's going to be the funnest.
Yeah. There's like a place called Mary Lou's. I think it came from Palm Beach that just opened in Montauk. And it's just like impossible. So if anybody knows anything, get in touch with me. You know how to do it. Here goes. This is what
Yeah,
you're
if
going
you
to be
can help
seeing.
them get a reservation
Yeah.
or a better table, reach out. I just don't like the brim of the hat.
But you don't like the flat.
But it's not terrible.
Okay.
I'm not horrified at all.
Okay.
Where are your blue? I like your blue glasses that you said were douchey.
Oh, I have. I
would
bring
do
like 7
I
different
know,
pairs
but I
of
would
glasses.
do the blue one with this look because
I
the blue
would.
shirt.
Yeah.
And
Now, what do you think of
why
like?
this shirt?
Because it's like 4th of July.
But it says 25.
2025. God, I hope nobody thinks I'm 25.
But it's supposed to be like a football theme.
Yeah, well, it's fun. People go,
Where
look at
did
this
you buy
guy.
it? I don't want to know.
Oh, you don't want to know.
I do
think I was
wanna
like
know.
I think I was like at an
Target?
like an American Eagle, like at 4 kids, like if you're 22, you shop there.
Oh.
I was like at an American Eagle.
Okay.
I was on the road,
But
killing
look,
time.
your shoes match perfectly. They're white with a blue stripe,
whole thing.
baby blue stripe. I think it's great.
Thank you.
I think it's great.
But this is, where it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a party place. You can't be you can't wear like a suit.
For 4th of July, I will be at my home here
Okay.
in the Westlake area.
Yeah.
And where I live, we don't have it's not like we can see the fireworks from our house. 4th of July is always a really hard day.
How come you choose not to go to do a 4th of July beach vacation?
We've done that, but I just want to stay in my neighborhood because there'll be fun. If we have a nice pool, so maybe we'll invite some people over, whatever.
Yeah.
But if we want to actually, first of all, I'm going to be totally honest.
Okay.
A lot of 4th of Julys. We have started the pool fun, the boozing, and I have been asleep before the fireworks.
I agree. Me too.
And asleep passed out /
Because what people don't mention is it's got to be real dark for the fireworks. So they don't really start till like 10 p.m.
9:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you have to get somewhere and then you have to set up your blankets, whatever, who cares?
Right.
And as the kids got older, they didn't fucking care. So then I'd be like, oh my God, I missed like fireworks again. And so I want people to come over, and I also want to be invited to people's houses.
Right.
And I want to be invited to anybody that has a boat in Westlake, because there's a big thing that happens in Westlake where people get on their little Duffy boats and people tie them together, and it's kind of like a crazy thing.
Yeah.
So that could be fun in the day, but then still how you can keep it going, drinking or not, how you can keep it going from a barbecue for lunch until 10 at night.
I can't. Yeah, I feel like the Sex in the City, with the espresso martinis. I can't keep going.
It's a lot. I don't know. It's like I got to split up the thing. And I always remember one of my bigger regrets in life for partying was I had a choice. I was a single girl in my 20s living in Brentwood.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a choice to go to the Pacific Palisades with this couple who had a cute house and little girls that was my sister's friend. And I was like, oh, that's beautiful. They have it was a nice house. It wasn't even a crazy house. They're having a little pool party. And I'm like, and I was looking for a husband. I was thinking maybe he had a wife or something.
Okay.
I mean, maybe he had a guy.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it was pretty family friendly. Then I was going to plan on driving all the way to Los Feliz to go to a party.
Impossible.
Where all the Groundlings people were.
Yeah.
And some SNL people that were home for the week.
Yeah.
But by the time I left the Pacific Palisades, I just was like, the thought to try to go all the way, and I didn't. And I heard like Will Ferrell was there, Anna Gasteyer, like all these fun people, and I was like, why? What was it? Why did I go to the Palisades party in the start? Like, it is very hard. I've had so many times where I've been like trying, like in Malibu, trying to go from one party to another. You can only choose one
party
location.
There's no
in
two
LA.
parties at any, especially in Los Angeles.
Unless
Forget
it's all
about
within the same neighborhood. Like you can
barely that.
Yeah, but you can if it's in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
If you have to get on a freeway
Never.
to go to another event,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen. You
No.
shouldn't. It's
Absolutely not.
it's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Also, thank you to our forefathers who made us Americans.
Thank you. Absolutely. Yes. That too.
All the people that died in 1776.
Yeah. That day. Yeah. All that. Yeah.
Chris, tell everybody where they can see you.
Oh my God! This weekend I'm in Escondido, California. Coming up, you guys listen to this on Thursday. I'm in Escondido Friday and Saturday. Grand Comedy Club, Escondido, California, and then I'm off for a little while. The next
Just
thing,
off the road.
I'm off the road until the end of August. I think the last weekend of August I'm in Greenville. But every Franjola.fun's going to have all the fall dates. I have a ton of dates coming up in the fall and the winter. But the summer I'm off, except for Escondido, California Grand Comedy Club this Friday and Saturday night. And then I'm in Montauk. Hook it up, people.
Hook it up. Seriously, when we say hook it up, we are not asking for a free meal.
No,
We're
nothing.
asking
I'm not asking for
a
anything.
girl to be like, I'm the manager. What night do you want to come in? I got a cute table for you.
Right.
And I can make your life a little better.
Yeah.
And I like your podcast. That's what
Thank
we're
you.
and,
That's it.
And of course, Chris is going to post about it and talk about it, blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
So, or if you have a place that he hasn't mentioned that you are like, we're better than that spot, let him know.
Also, that too. I don't know anything anymore, And it always makes me look good in front of my brothers and stuff. To be like, yeah.
Because you're SpongeBob Square podcaster.
I know. And the people were like, why is he
That's
wearing...
a great joke. And then to get back to the anger of that, I was like, okay, so the young guys in the law firm are making fun of a 60-year-old married father of 2 for not going to nightclubs. Who the fuck at 60 is going to a nightclub? Right. So he's like, they call me SpongeBob Square partner.
Yeah.
So the young kids call Chris Franjola SpongeBob Square podcaster.
That's why I wear this shirt.
And also, so who was watching? So a 30-year-old man is making a SpongeBob reference to tease his. Like, that's where I'm like, that's why you guys, that's why the writing is so bad.
But I'm like, if there's
because
a writer's room, doesn't anyone go, should we come up with something better than that one? I feel like they just take the first joke.
I don't know how much collaboration is happening in rooms. I
That's what
know
I'm
that
saying.
was one of the bigger things that was part of the Writers Guild strike. And,
Yeah.
like they were like, no, we're not going to do the weeks of prep with everybody together. We're
Yeah.
going to cut that out, and you're just going to have to like write it off by
it
yourself.
shows. It shows.
It really fucking shows.
Yeah, on a lot of shows.
A lot
actually.
of shows.
Yeah,
A lot of things like don't like even the Friends and Neighbors show, which I kind of like.
yeah,
There's a lot of things that like don't make sense, like casting wise and other things. Even though that's a pretty decent show,
right.
it's
yeah.
still annoying me.
That's John Hamm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Right. I've heard.
You know what? That's a good one to download for your flight to New York.
Okay.
I like to download like a series. I feel like the time goes quicker on a 5-hour flight if it's a series
Me
than if
too.
it's like 2 movies.
I agree with you.
Because you're like, okay, I got one.
Yeah.
Okay, I only have 2 more left. And you're like looking forward to the next thing. That
Right.
I think that makes the 5 hours go by
I'm
so
with you.
fast.
I'm doing it.
Love you, Chris.
Love
and
you back.
everybody listen
Thank
to
you for
Cover
having
to
me.
Cover. He covers all the funny topics.
Cover to Cover's the podcast. Everybody go listen to that. And, follow me on all the socials. I
he
try to do
really-
Instagram as much
He really
as I can.
does funny stuff, you guys.
Oh.
And you are going to want to live his life in the Hamptons with him. And you do a lot of stories and you do a lot of funny stuff.
Thank you. As do you.
Thank you for being such a wonderful friend all these years.
See you at the
Such
10-year
a big
anniversary.
part of Juicy Scoop, and I'm so appreciative.
Thank you very much. It's nice
Love
to hear.
you.